Hi everyone, today I have a really cool watch to show you. This is a Seiko Premier Kinetic Auto Relay. So I know that's a lot. I'll break down what each one of those words means as I go over this watch. But first I want to show you that the most interesting thing that you immediately notice when you look at this watch is the design. So it's about 38 millimeters to 39 millimeters depending where you measure it. But it's all stainless steel. What strikes me about this watch is that it just has this extremely futuristic look to it. So the best way that I would describe it is sort of like what I would imagine a UFO to look like. So you can see this bezel here. Again, everything made of stainless steel has these little facets, these little divots. It's non-movable, but these little divots that just give it a lot of character and uniqueness. They could have definitely had a smooth bezel on here, but I think that these little divot circles really added a lot of character. On the sides, you also will see this really interesting bit of sculpted profile here on the lugs, and then you see that the case gets wider on the edge here, almost knife-like. Very interesting case geometry all around. Again, it really looks like what I would imagine a UFO, like a flying saucer, to look like. So quite interesting case to say the least, and a really excellent job on the case design and machining by Seiko. Also, something that stands out immediately on the case and design is this integrated bracelet. So you'll see here that it is integrated into the case. You could take this off and you could get a leather or perhaps silicone band, but I think that the factory bracelet really complements the case. You'll see that there's just really large chunky links here. It's H-link design. But I think that the bracelet just is it does really a good job, I think, complementing the overall case design, and feels very substantial, very solid. It also features this the Volante clasp, which again is sculpted kind of similar to the case, which I think is just a really excellent job by Seiko. All right, so now that I've shown you a bit about the overall design here, let me put it on my wrist. Again, it's 38 millimeters to 39 millimeters, depending where you measure it. On the wrist, it does wear a bit large, I would say, because of the integrated bracelet. It does, it's on the upper end for me on a very small, about 14 centimeter wrist. I wouldn't wear it on any wrist smaller than mine, to be quite honest. But I do think that on the wrist, it wears quite well. The case is pretty snug. You'll see that knife edge gives it the appearance of being slightly slimmer than what it is. And then the bracelet, again, I just think complements the case so perfectly. All right, so now to talk a little bit more about the dial and what the Premier and Kinetic and Auto Relay, what all this means. So the Premier is the model, so that's the easy part. The Kinetic movement is an interesting hybrid quartz movement designed by Seiko in the 1990s. So what this is that it is a mechanical movement that has capacitors inside of it that when you wear the watch, it's automatic. So you'll hear that there is a rotor that moves, and you'll feel it as well. Whenever that rotor moves, it's actually charging two different capacitors under the hood here. And those capacitors are really similar to what you would get on a quartz watch, except instead of a battery charging a capacitor, here you have an actual rotor, a mechanical rotor that's oscillating, and therefore that's what's charging the capacitor up. And that's the idea behind this kinetic movement. It's a combination of a mechanical watch and a quartz watch. And the actual timekeeping is using a quartz crystal, so you get this really high precision timekeeping. You'll see that the common, well, I guess I should say the typical quartz second-hand tick here, but you get the precision of the quartz movement along with just the fun, I guess I would say, of the mechanical movement and the engineering interest of mixing the two. The auto relay is a specific version of this kinetic movement that basically, whenever you're setting this watch down, and I wish I could show you here, if you set this watch down for a few hours, when you come to pick it up, you'll see that it has this process where the hands will move, and you'll see this 360 degree like rotation of the hands. basically the auto relay has a timer where it detects if it's not being worn, and it will keep the time behind the scenes. And whenever you pick it up and it feels that the rotor is moving and in turn the capacitor is being charged, it will set the hands to that time. So it's basically an energy conservation mode, which is extremely interesting that that Seiko was able to do this. So the hands will stop ticking when you set this down, say if you leave it on a nightstand overnight. And when you pick it up in the morning, it will remember the time because of the internal Quartz timekeeping capability, and then it will set the hands right then as soon as you pick it up. And it's a really cool thing, very fluid animation to see that happening in real time, and just amazing engineering by Seiko. So all said, this is an incredible watch, I think. I think this is a really cool weekend watch, just super interesting technology. Reminds me a lot of Grand Seiko hybrid quartz technology. Super interesting if you're into hybrid mechanical quartz watches. Super interesting if you just appreciate the design like me. You want something really futuristic on the wrist that has a movement inside that really backs up the design. So there you have it. Thanks for watching this video. Definitely check out my website at pedalsandpinions.com where you can see pictures of this watch and more details. Thanks so much for watching.